Hello everybody, HulkRx here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 395. And today we're going to be talking about the Draconius Combine Tai-Sho. I think that's how you pronounce it, Tai-Sho. So, like Tai wins, is basically how I look at it. So Tai-Sho, an 85-ton assault mech, comes in at 1771 battle value in this configuration, the alpha configuration. The has maximum armor of 15 tons of ferrofibrous armor for 263 points of armor. It has 13 double heat sinks, and it's a 3.5 moving vehicle with a standard engine. And the reason it has a standard is because there is no room left on this thing. With the equipment on board, yep, there's nothing left for space. Alright, so it has an ERPPC in the right arm, an ERPPC in the left arm. Hey, for those that are really observant, that's 30 points of heat right there. And it only has 13 double heat sinks, so it can dissipate 26. Just by firing, it's already up 4 in the heat scale. Then we add in the AC-10 Ultra with 2 tons of ammunition in the right torso with case. And then in the left torso, we have 2 C3 master computers. So basically, you're looking at a mech that is a command and control type of vehicle. Not vehicle, but mech. I guess you can consider it a vehicle in a way. And bipedal vehicle. So, yeah. Interesting thing. Alright, so the mech is designed to take care of company level operations. Because with a standard C3 master, you can have a lance linked together. And if you have a second master computer, you can have a company level operation. So basically, you have to have a bunch of you have to have masters and slaves, and one of them has to have a master slave. So type of deal, so you can be able to link everybody together. So that's an interesting thing. So you can have a whole entire company all working off the same network, which is actually pretty decent. We've done that before, where everybody's using the closest guy's range modifier, and you just have to be within range of firing your weapons. So if you're sitting at, those 2 ERPPCs are sitting at 23, and your eyes and ear mech is sitting out there at 7, well, everybody is going to, your weapon systems will fire at short range, which is nice, all right? But it comes at a cost in some ways, is that, you know, not necessarily a great mech to be running around in, trying to throw everything on board. So you have command control mech that is a 3.5 mover, so it can get run down fairly easy. That's the biggest drawback I can see with this mech right off the bat. It's slow, so it's going to take its time to get to the battlefront. So yeah, you're probably better off yeah, you're going to be throwing this into a lance or a company of assault mechs and heavies mixed together. You might have a couple eyes and ear. Each lance might have a medium, a fast mover that, you know, might be a 6.9, hopefully, or you might have a 7.11, some along that line for your 7.11.7 would be perfect for your eyes and ears. If you can get an 8.12.8, so much the better. But you know, typically you're going to have a hard time finding mechs that really fit that bill very well. That, you know, because then you're looking at a lot of light mechs and they have a tendency to die pretty quickly. You want something that has a little bit of, because it's going to be right up there in the front and attracting lots of attention, because it's, you know, that's the mech that's going to be the eyes and ears. You fire everything at it, take it out, and it's forcing everybody else to step forward and come out of their sweet spot. You know, somebody's got to be the eyes and ears, you know, for the closest mech for your lance or your company in this case when you're using this one. So yeah, that's how you kind of counter it. And if you are lucky enough to have some ECM on board, some of your fast movers, you go in and just shut down the network. Get in close to the master computer mechs and get, within 6, and it's like, oh, sorry, it's shut down. Too bad for you. You got to go to the standard, and then it's basically just 5 tons of space that's not being able to be used. So there, that's kind of how you counteract that. But the biggest problem that you'll find with this mech is that, yeah, you're going to be wanting to hang back with it because it's going to be an expensive mech. Let me see, it's coming in at 13.6 million C-bills for running one of these. So it's not cheap because those master computers are kind of spendy. So there's that. Now, the important thing to do is not fire every weapon you have, because this thing only dissipates 13. Let's say you happen to run. That leaves you with, or 26, that leaves you 24 that you can dissipate. Firing one PPC is 15. And if you double pump the autocannon, that's 8 more. So yeah. So you're looking at 23. So that's the only way you can really use this mech. And eventually, within 10 turns, you're going to be out of ammo with the autocannon, so you're going to be forced to use the 2 ERPPCs possibly. Now, if you get one of those ambitious individuals that love to fire every weapon system they have in range, they're going to turn around and fire the 2 ERPPCs, double pump the autocannon, so you're looking at 38, and let's say the run, that's 40. Okay. And you dissipate 26. You just went up 14 on the heat scale. Not bad. Oh, you say that's not bad. Shut down on a 4+, you got a +2 modifier to hit and a -2 movement. You are now a 1-2 moving vehicle. Or not vehicle, but mech. So, I got vehicle in the head today. But yeah, when you got something that's moving a 1-2, everybody will look at that, kill it. Just shoot everything you have. It has no modifier on board unless it's parked itself in some wood someplace or hiding behind a hill. It might have some partial cover possibly. So when you look at that, you're going, oh, well, it's going to be taking fire from about everybody imaginable, and the end result will be it's going to be ripped to pieces pretty quickly. And the only good saving grace with this, it doesn't have XL engine, so it can turn into a zombie mech. But if you take out the arms fairly quickly, all you're left with is the autocannon. And if you happen to get into their torso and you hit the ammo and it blows the ammo, yeah, you going to lose over half your firepower. You actually be left with a ERPPC, but it can be causing you all kinds of problems. So something to think about. Don't fire everything. Just kind of keep it into that sweet spot of, like I said, you can probably double pump the autocannon unless you look at it and go, well, the firing solution is pretty high. I may not double pump. I'll probably just fire 1 round out of the autocannon and an ERPPC and see what sticks. And then eventually, you're going to end up with more turns of firepower downrange doing it that way. But, really, that's only 20 points of damage that you could possibly throw out that way. So this mech is really sitting on a bunch of weapon systems that are not able to be used at all. It's like either you're going to be firing both autocannon shots or you're going to be firing 2 PPCs. You're not going to do all 3. And if you, like I said, if you do all 3, you're going to have problems. You don't want that. So there you go. So it's one of those mechs where you're just going to have to restrain yourself and not firing everything. Yeah, I'm always going to be firing a PPC. That's the given. There's one. That's one going down range. And then then you're left with decision time. Depending on if you're parked in some wood someplace, you're not moving, yes, you probably can fire both PPCs if you got the range with them, and then kick back and relax. And then the next turn only fire one PPC and cool off, that type of thing. And maybe fire PPC in one shot from the autocannon. Seeing how you have to balance things out and try to keep the heat. It's like go up heat a little bit and then come down heat. But it's one way or the other. It just depends on if the weapon systems are in range or not. Which, if you got the PPCs in range and you don't have the autocannon, obviously you're going to be firing just the, because the autocannon only does go out to 18, but there's going to be there's basically 5 hexes there where you may not have range with the autocannons and you may only have it with the PPC. So you probably will only fire one PPC. So there. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it for that version. There's another version which is the, let me pull this up. That was the 7S. That comes in at 1774 battle value, and then you're going to go look at the 8S, which, all right, 8S has an AC-20 or AC-10 Ultra. All right, then you got 2 heavy PPCs. You're back in the same thing again, and you only dissipate that 26 because you got 13 doubles. So yeah, it's one of those things again where you're looking at it and go, oh my gosh, what do I do? It's like, and then now everything shoots out to 18, so now you're at a quandary. It's like, do I fire a heavy PPC and double pump the autocannon and then limit your movement down? Okay, so yeah, that's one of those things where you have to make some decisions and figure out, yeah, if I'm only walking, it's not a problem. If I'm running, yes, I can do that for 4 turns. So, there. But once again, you're sitting with an extra heavy weapon system, that heavy PPC, that is pretty much useless. And you got a lot of tonnage wrapped up in it. And this comes in at 2,000 battle value, so what you going to do? It comes in a lot cheaper at 11 million C-bills and at 2,000 battle value, but you do not have, you just have, what is it, just a slave? Yeah, you got a C3 slave on board this thing. So, yes, once again, you are sitting with a situation of having, what do I do? But you do have some free space on this thing, so it's basically the same mech, but you got rid of the 2 master computers, saving up 10 tons, which you threw into the heavy PPCs, and then you are sitting with the same kind of situation. Personally, I would have upgraded maybe one of those to a heavy PPC, left the other one a standard PPC, and then taking that tonnage and add a couple more heat sinks to help dissipate that heat problem that you have. Look at it that way and see how it would work out, and maybe even add, not sure exactly how much tonnage you're going to save that way. But yeah, that's kind of like how I'm going to look at that. It's like going from a PPC or heavy to a, you're going to have, what, there's 5, 6, 7, 9 spaces freed up. So, yeah, you're going to have the ability to continuously fire. And I'd rather go that route myself and then be able to dissipate your heat situation. And maybe even go drop that autocannon down to an LBX, because you got some heavy hitting weapon systems that can rip some armor off, and I'd rather follow it up with some crit hunting type of situation. And it doesn't mean you can't fire it as a solid shot, have 1 ton of cluster, 1 ton of, and that also would save you some tonnage there, and maybe add a couple short-range weapon systems like some medium lasers or something for when things get in close, go that route. And make it a more viable system. Because you're looking at a mech here with a slave. This might be suddenly becoming your up close and personal mech that is in the Lance. So he's kind of a bodyguard, heavy fire support mech, slow moving. You know, you're looking at it 3.5. You know, your typical 85 ton, it's going to be falling in the same category as the other 85 that will have that problem being slow. So, yeah, not much you can do with these things. So you have to just mitigate your heat output. And that's the hardest part about running these mechs like this. So there you go. That's the Tai-Sho. Yeah. As a command and control mech, can be useful, but you're going to be really pulling your hair out trying to keep the heat down without having that desire to just blast everything that you have out at the enemy, and then cooking yourself and then causing yourself more trouble in the end. So there. All right, so that's it. That's Tai-Sho. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Elkrix out.